Hi, this is a follow-on video from the last video that I talked about toxicity. So today my focus is on three of the key toxic elements that I talked about earlier, which is mercury, lead, and arsenic. So what is the source of mercury that typically would enter our system? Mercury will usually come from dental amalgams. So it depends on how many silver amalgams you have. That is a source of mercury, even years after you've put it in. The other source of mercury will be from contaminated seafood. So the larger the fish or the larger the seafood, the longer it spends in the water, the more exposure it has to mercury and other environmental toxicants that is in seawater. The third thing that we can get mercury from is forest fires. These are not huge sources of mercury, but it still emits mercury into the environment. Lead. So lead is one of the very common things that is used to make lipstick. So women eat a lot of lead. And the way to not consume that amount of lead is to use organic and environmentally friendly lipstick that is prepared without lead. Other sources of lead come from exhaust fumes. So mechanics tend to be having more exposure to lead. The other thing is paints. So if you use a standard paint to paint, then the increase in lead fumes that you'll be exposed to will be a lot higher. Little children sometimes have got toys that may or may not have been tested for its lead content, because especially if the toys are painted, that's where lead can actually leach into our little friends. The other thing that I want to talk to you about is arsenic. Now, arsenic comes from organic and inorganic sources. So the organic sources are naturally occurring in the ground. Yes, you will be thinking it's naturally occurring in the ground, so is there a problem? It is a problem when there is an overdose of it in our system. So inorganic arsenic typically comes from our pesticides and fertilizers. So when these ones have already been loaded onto the crops will also absorb them from the ground, and that becomes a huge burden. The single most arsenic most absorbing crop around is rice. And it does not even matter whether it is jasmine, it is long grain, short grain, whatever type of rice it is, it will absorb arsenic. Rice loves arsenic. Though the rice that has been shown to have the least amount of arsenic in it is organic brown basmati. So if you're choosing between the different rice to buy and you are concerned about your arsenic exposure, then choose brown basmati rice. I hope this information has been useful for you. If you want to know a bit more about pesticides, herbicides, which crops have been sprayed the most and the least, you can refer to the Environmental Working Group Dirty Dozen and Clean 15. It tells you which are the crops that is most beneficial to get them organic. Yes, it is not the most easy to get everything organic because of availability and cost, but we can pick and choose the ones that have been the most contaminated and replace those ones with organic. Same thing with skincare and makeup, because we slap so much of all these things onto our skin. It's worthwhile to get the ones that have got low contaminants and low toxicants. I hope this has been useful for you. Until we meet again, goodbye.